What's up, beer drinkers? How y'all doing this week? We got another great show for you again this week. This week we drink a couple of beers, a couple of coffee beers. One from XII West Brewing out here in Arizona, and another one from Laughing Monk Brewing out there in the Bay Area in California. Because there are two Bay areas, right? Tampa Bay. But we're talking about the Big Bay. Anyway, not only that, but in our beer news, we talk about tariffs and how they might affect beer, and we talk about an ultra-right C and D. And then in our cold brew list, we talk about NFL free agency. Oh, it was last week, and it was a crazy, wild one, as it is every year. And then in our Drunken Shenanigans, we talk about smells. I'll just leave it at that. We talk about smelling. All right, don't forget to follow us on Untapped and on Instagram, both of them Cold Brew Podcast. And we are also on YouTube. Not only YouTube, we're on Apple Podcast. We are on Spotify. We are on podbean.com, but we are also on YouTube. Every week the show gets transferred to YouTube. So if you want to listen to it on there, or even every once in a while, we'll have videos. We'll have a videos. We'll have video, especially when I do the special movie reviews, like the last one I did with Amanda and Kristen of Nosferatu. So that was kind of fun. And pretty soon, Sorcerer Chromatic and I will have our lovely faces up there for you to see. God help us. All right, so without further ado, it's time for another cold brew. Coming at you pre-recorded from Cold Brew Studios. I am Greg. He is Sorcerer Chromatic, and we're here to talk about beer.
Yes, we are.
How you doing this week, man?
Pretty good. Pretty good. It's been raining pretty good over here.
Is it supposed to keep going, or is it all done now?
No, it's supposed to come back next week too.
Oh man, the son of a gun! It rained here a little bit this week, so that was good. But it's also been super cold. Well, cold for the desert anyway.
Do you guys just get those monsoon rains, or do you guys get regular rain too?
Oh, well, this week it was a little mix of both. It's not the monsoon season, but we did get one big storm that came with a haboob and lightning and everything too. But the other couple days it was just like a steady drizzle the whole time for like about an hour or two. So it was a decent rain. But yeah, that I think it was Thursday. Anyway, either one of those 2 days actually had to the White Sox game got canceled in Glendale, and so I'm sure a couple of the other ones around Valley got rained out. But usually, if it doesn't get all stormy, it just drizzles a little bit, and they're able to, you could play baseball in a little bit of drizzle.
I would say, isn't the whole point of having spring training there to avoid rain?
I know, right? But it was a weird storm. It didn't make any sense, and it was cold too. But right. Hopefully we'll get the warm ones in the winter like we did when I first moved here. Oh. That helps our water table, which we desperately got to monitor because we're in the desert, so we need the water, and people keep moving here.
Right.
All right, let's get to the beer, shall we?
Sure.
All right, so I have in front of me from our good friends at XII West Brewing out of Gilbert, Mesa, Arizona. They have a couple spots. I have their Midnight Run Coffee Stout. Do you ever see that movie Midnight Run with Robert De Niro and Charles Grodin?
Yeah.
It was all right. Charles Grodin's not my favorite dude, but I thought it was a good movie. It was a fun, then Robert De Niro has to take him to go has to get him to a court or something like that, I think, to testify.
I forgot. Yeah, but he was basically protecting the prisoner or a witness or something like that.
Yeah, and there's all these people trying to get him. But yeah, there's some good parts in it. Anyway, this is Using a blend from Spirit Mountain Coffee based in Yuma, Arizona, this roasty oatmeal stout finishes with notes of chocolate and a slight bitterness. It's 5.3% alcohol by a volume. And so without further ado, pop off. I like 12 West. Haven't been to the original, but I've been to the tap room that they have out in I think it was the Mesa tap room. They're in this little I guess a co-op called Barn. I don't know if it's Barn One or Bar None, but it's got a bunch of like restaurants and the brewery, of course, and some shops, and I think a couple like services like hairstylists and stuff like that. So it's a cool little spot out. If you're out that way, check it out. What do you got?
I have from our friends out in San Francisco, or even Sunnyvale now, they have a tap room.
Oh.
Is their Morning Buzz Brunch Ale.
Oh, all right.
It's a collaboration with Andy Town Coffee Roasters. So it is a coffee golden ale. I'm trying to get some more stuff. They don't have too much on the website. Hold on, I must sneeze.
Yeah, you're fine. Woohoo, that was a good one.
Yeah. What did I say? This one though, you know how Laughing Monk has their iconic logo of a Laughing Monk?
Yeah, like kind of. Is it looking over his shoulder or just turning to the side?
Yeah, I'd say looking over his shoulder.
Okay.
Head slightly raised.
Yeah.
And they'll sometimes put the theme with it, like modify it a little bit.
Oh yeah. If it's like a color or maybe a costume of some sort, but it's still the same face and pose.
Right. So this one is unaltered. It's the original. I just wanted to share that fact in case people are wondering. Let me see if I can find something real quick on this.
All right.
They'll probably kick me over to Untapped.
Yeah,
which is pretty reliable, right?
Yeah,
Untapped,
I think
another good contributor of the show.
Yes, yeah.
We use it, right? So kind of by default.
And it's user sourced. So like if it's a write-up, it's not from Untapped, it's from the actual brewery.
There you go.
Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't though.
It's on here, just it's not.
There's no write-up.
There's no write-up.
Okay. It is what it is.
Well then, that's true. So, without any further ado, real quick, maybe some. It's a 5.5% ABV. Like I said, it's a golden ale with a coffee added. So
very nice.
Papa.
All right, so mine starts off really smooth. It's an oatmeal stout, so I was expecting a lot of smoothness to it because the oats impart some silkiness in the mouthfeel, and I get that. But it finishes dry and really roasty. Like there's like a big coffee presence in this, which I fucking love. Because I love cold coffee, and so this kind of reminds me of that. And it just lingers, man. I took a sip maybe about like a minute or so ago, and it's still there. It's still up in the front, not the back of the mouth, but up in the front of the mouth. And it's really, to me, it's delicious. The coffee that they use is really good. I don't know how they roasted it over that Spirit Mountain, but whatever they did for this particular can, it's awesome. Let's see. It has a born on date of January 9th, 2025. So it's relatively new. I mean, it's only like 2 months old, a little bit over 2 months old. I can see this mellowing out just a little bit more for those of you who don't like that really heavy coffee bitterness taste. I think this is one of those that will mellow out, but you can't leave it for like 5 or 6 years. I'm thinking more like 6 months, 6 to 8 months. I think this the bitterness will mellow out just a tad, and it's delicious. This is a really good one, and I know they have this one. I wouldn't say this is like their flagship, but it is something I've seen before. This is the first time I've had it, and they actually tasted it in a critical sense. So I dig it, man. This is a really good coffee stout. I'm gonna have to get you one and send it to you if you If you're down, we haven't sent each other beer in a while. We should get back to doing that.
We should, or at least you should.
All right then. How's your beer?
You mean my cup of Joe? The coffee notes right now very dominant. So it's a golden ale. Golden ale is a I don't want to say it's a neutral beer. However, it's not hoppy. It's not too malty, but I don't know. It just has that flavor. I don't know if I'm saying it right.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying though?
Yeah, it's
so like I'm just talking like a regular golden ale.
A golden ale, to me, it's like I would say like a malty sweetness to it for golden ales.
That's true. It's got some sweetness. However, it's not crazy sweet.
Yeah. It's a step up from the blonde.
Yeah. Like a blonde ale or a golden ale, they kind of do have that neutrality to kind of go either way. You go bready with them or hoppy with them. And so they're a good base for something like coffee, because the coffee in this one is very overpowering, very strong, very roasty. Whatever style coffee they used for this will probably show good presence in even a like a stout or a porter. So right away, kicking off, and two for a golden ale, it is a little bit on the darker side.
Okay.
The vanilla cream looking head. However, the aromatics, super strong coffee, and yeah, the taste is there, and it does have some sweetness at the end too. So it's not even though it's roasty, it's not crazy bitter.
Didn't you have that one? What's it by Full Circle? That Mac Drizzle. Wasn't that a coffee stout, or was it just a golden stout?
I think it was just a golden stout.
Okay, I mean not a coffee stout, but a coffee golden ale. But it's just a golden stout. Okay, never mind. I'm sorry. Back to your beer.
Yes, back to my beer. Well, I was just concluding.
Oh, okay.
See if it opens up when it warms up. However, it's very powerful.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, this one is rather cold, so yeah, I think it will open up and even soften up a little bit as it gets warm. All right, we will rate our beers later on during our Untapped portion of the show. Don't forget to follow us on Untapped. Search Cold Brew Podcast and friend us, and we'll friend you back. But right now, it's time for some beer news. All right, the first beer news story comes to us from AFP. The headline reads, "Impossible. U.S. breweries buffeted by Trump tariffs." For U.S. craft brewer Bill Butcher, President Donald Trump's expanding range of tariffs has sparked an unexpected impact. The shortage of bottles to package his beer, while uncertainty looms over his business costs. I don't know if he means bottles. I think they mean cans. As far as I know, the tariffs aren't affecting glass, just aluminum. Regardless, let me continue. From Canadian malted barley to aluminum beer cans, Trump's tariffs had hit multiple products that American craft breweries need, buffeting businesses in the world's biggest economy. Turbulence in supplies could ultimately translate to higher beer prices for consumers. Brewers warn, even as importers and breweries try to absorb additional costs triggered by the levies and their consequent supply shocks. Similar conditions are playing out in various industries across the country, including construction and appliance production. Oh yeah, I guess that would affect like breweries if they want like new vats, or they're trying to expand or build out of new tap rooms, or even brand new brews who try to build out. In Trump's latest salvo, 25% levies on U.S. steel and aluminum imports took effect this week. Quote, "As the aluminum tariffs have kicked in, the major beer suppliers in the country are switching a lot of their production back to bottles," said Butcher, founder of Port City Brewing Company in the state of Virginia. As a result, his provider can no longer supply bottles to him after shipments through March, and aluminum levies also raised the cost of producing cans, threatening higher prices down the line. "There's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of chaos, and that's been injected into our supply chain," Butcher told AFP. He typically goes through 90,000 bottles per month or so, forming 70% of his packaged products and the rest goes into cans. Oh, I see, because he specializes in bottles still, or concentrates in bottles still. But in the absence of bottle supplies, he expects to use more aluminum cans anyway, or sell more beer in kegs. Atlas Brewworks founder Justin Cox, who packages his beers in aluminum cans, estimates their price form about 1/3 of the total cost for a case of 24 beers. Aluminum tariffs add to packaging cost in what's already a small margin product going into the wholesale market, Cox said. All of this ends up with higher price of our beer on the shelf, added Cox, who has facilities in Washington and Virginia. On average, about 10% of every can in the U.S. is Canadian aluminum, said Bart Watson. I thought it was Bort Watson. Bart Watson? Huh. Bart sounds kind of weird. Anyway, president of the Brewers Association, a trade group who advocates for craft breweries. This piles further cost pressures on American craft brewers, he said. I also read an article about Bart. That just sounds weird. Bart Watson going to Washington to lobby for craft breweries and try to get some of these tariffs lessened or lightened, or maybe even exceptions. However, I think Trump said that there's going to be no exceptions made. So good luck with that. I think aluminum itself is a huge industry, and not just for craft breweries, but everything from construction to even cars, the auto industry and airlines and all sorts of facets of our way of life. Aluminum is huge. So yeah, I thought this too, and especially come from Canada. Not just, I think one of the things that Bart was saying too was like, you're going to tax or tariff imports from Canada 25% and aluminum 25%. So is it going to be double? Is it going to be like 50% on aluminum, or is it just 25? That is something that hasn't been determined or at least explained. Because if we're getting an aluminum from Canada, is going to be tariffed twice. So, yeah, how do you feel about the whole maybe increasing beer prices?
Oh, that'd be terrible.
I know, right?
I am against raising prices of groceries like beer.
Right.
Groceries in general. No, I mean, yeah, just the cost of doing business eventually gets passed on to the consumer in any facet. So,
right.
Yeah, aluminum's huge. I mean, shoot, how long have we been doing the show now? 9 years?
Yeah, we're on our 9th.
I mean, how many times have how many times, but remember the whole can revolution with the big craft beer industry?
Yeah, because when we first started, everything was in like bombers, and then cans started, I think, maybe around 2015, 16, they started popping up a little bit more.
Right. And then like Canarchy, that started, Growlers took over Growlers. I mean, just name it. You see a lot of that stuff. That the jar company Ball. Mason jars. They're huge. I believe with New Belgium in getting Growler. I don't want to say Growler machine production, or Growler supplies out to the tap rooms and breweries,
Yeah. I think
I mean,
go ahead.
What I'm trying to say is it hasn't been that long since the beer industry took that turn into the aluminum side of things, or the can side of things, which default aluminum, and now that's going to be a subject of higher cost. So now the industry is just kind of like stuck. It's like they just kind of retooled in a sense to get their bottling lines into canning lines, and now this shit happens.
Yeah, and if they try to go back to bottles, like there's going to be a glut, or like they're going to be stuck for supplies, and so they're going to have to go back to cans. They can't pivot back to bottles so easily. Like maybe in a year or two when supplies get higher, they could do this. They could do so, but until then, or if the American aluminum production starts ramping up, which it's going to take it's not going to be immediate. It's going to take a couple of years for the supply to increase. So for a while, it's going to suck. I mean, I think some breweries are going to be are going to close because of this, because they can't absorb the cost. And if they try to pass it on to the consumer is going to pivot somewhere else.
No, I could see shrinkflation.
Yeah. What do you call
it? Same taste, same price. Now in a 10-ounce can.
10-ounce can. Or like instead of a 16-ounce can, it's a 14.5-ounce can.
There you go.
The what do you call it? The convex shape of the bottom of the can is going to be even more pronounced. It's going to go way up like a wine bottle or something.
Oh yeah, that's called a punt, by the way. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh no, I didn't know that. Why would they call it a punt? That's kind of weird.
Well, but it's kind of like I guess like the return. I don't know. It's like the return or the regression. But yeah, that's the thing. Like that's like the proper way to pour is to hold the put your thumb in the punt and kind of have your fingers on the outside, at least for champagne. Do
you think that was made to strengthen the bottom so like the pressure wouldn't push it and pop open the bottom or something?
No, it was made to stabilize the bottom. Whole. If it was flat, it would. Well, I say like the whole physics thing. If it's completely flat, then like all the weight's super distributed equally, so it's more likely to tip over. Whereas like the ring gives it more balance.
Oh, okay. It's about balance. Okay, I get it.
Yeah,
that makes sense. And it strengthens the corner or the edge, right? Is the way it's made. But back to beer. I didn't even think about going back to bottles as an option. And back to your point about Growlers, I think
the new Coors Light plastic bag just for you.
Oh yeah, didn't I think what's his name did that, right? Stephen Colbert, didn't he have a Budweiser bag?
Oh, I don't remember that.
I saw it. I saw
kind of like the when you buy like a soda to go in Mexico.
Yeah.
They keep the bottle deposit. They pour it in a bag and tie it off with a straw in it.
Yeah, exactly. It looked exactly like that, but it had like the Budweiser logo on the front.
Oh, perfect.
He did that on his show. I saw a picture and I didn't watch the video, but I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. Get rid of the aluminum. Or the brewer keeps the aluminum. They have it in the can. They pour it in there for you, and then here you go. Here's your bag of beer. Right. But to your point about the Growlers, I think the pandemic. The COVID pandemic really accelerated the Growler usage in breweries because they couldn't have anyone in the brewery, but they could sell it to go. Especially around here in Arizona, I noticed that.
Oh yeah, definitely. That kind of was about the same. That's the thing too. Like people had them, but they weren't as popular. And then the pandemic, and wow, everyone's getting Growlers to go.
Yeah, exactly. It's just accelerated that, and it keeps them fresh for longer. And you don't see Growlers anymore. I still have a couple, but you don't see them.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's that aged out really quick.
They might be on a come up though.
Right.
Yeah, and I was thinking about that line just right now from Def Jam's "How to Be a Player." When was y'all in?
When were you?
Anyway, all right. Moving right along to the next story. This comes to us from Fox News. The headline is "We Will Fight." Anti-woke beer company fires back at beer giant for intimidation amid trademark dispute. A conservative beer company is pushing back after beer giant Anheuser-Busch filed a trademark claim against it after the company went viral for criticizing Bud Light's association with transgender influencer. Oh, they're not going to say Dylan Mulvaney anymore? Anheuser-Busch has filed a federal trademark opposition before the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office in an act of corporate revenge against Conservative Dad's ultra-right beer. The Conservative Dad beer company said in a press release accompanied by a new video this week explaining that Anheuser-Busch is claiming Ultra Right's beer trademark request infringes on the trademark Michelob Ultra. Anheuser-Busch wrote it in its opposition that it believes that it will be damaged by the registration of the mark Ultra Right and pointed out that it has marketed and sold billions of products in the United States under the arbitrary and inherently distinctive mark Ultra and variants. The trademark filing comes roughly 2 years after Ultra Right Beer's launch video, which featured founder Seth Weathers smashing a Bud Light can with a baseball bat, went viral in response to Bud Light partnering with transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney. Oh, there you go. The partnership sparked a social media firestorm, causing beer drinkers to boycott Bud Light, which appeared to have a significant impact on the brand's domestic sales. Yeah, they fell to number 2. This isn't about trademarks, it's about retaliation, Weathers said in a statement. Anheuser-Busch is furious we helped expose their woke disaster with Bud Light, so now they're using their billion-dollar legal machine in an attempt to financially bleed us dry. But unlike them, we're not just a corporation looking to maximize profit. We're a movement of Americans who have had enough. Applicant's Ultra Right mark is likely to cause confusion, to cause mistake, or to deceive customers with consequent injury to opposer, the beer giant. Who is the opposer? Continued. The likelihood of confusion, mistake, or deception that would also arise from concurrent use and registration of applicant's Ultra Right mark with Anheuser-Busch's use and registration of its Ultra marks is that a person or persons are likely to believe that applicant's products have their source in opposer, or that applicant and its products are a version of opposer's Ultra marks, or in some way legit. This is fucking legalese. Affiliated with, sponsored, approved, endorsed, or licensed by opposer when in fact they are not. This seems like a very cut and dry C&D case. And I think the Ultra Right beer, dad beer, whatever it's called, is being a little bit too, to use one of their terms, snowflakey.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
we've seen, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the whole, what do I say? I guess bringing this up again or using it as a negative when it was when it was already so big at the time.
Yeah.
You know, why are you stirring that pot again?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think everyone's moved on from that. I mean, we have bigger fish to fry than woke and anti-woke. I think also we've seen this time and time again in the beer industry where AB-InBev, Heineken, all the big beer giants are protecting their brand. And even like, shoot, I think Dogfish Head. I remember one time they went after a brewery called Namaste Brewing. And because they have a beer called Namaste, and they won, and they got them to change their name. It's a C&D thing, and it's gonna be upheld in court because there's so much precedent. Yeah, go ahead. I mean, Ultra Right, go ahead. Yeah, that's your right to fight against it in court, but this is gonna be a losing battle. Just get rid of the Ultra. Use the Extreme Right, or something else besides Ultra Right. It'll work.
Right.
You'll be fine. The people who follow you are still gonna love your beer and support you. If what's in a name, just like Shakespeare said,
A rose by other name when smelling sweet.
something like that. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I just thought it was funny. One of the things I remember when that beer came out, they were having a hard time trying to keep up with the demand. And people were getting pissed, and people were writing in and giving them bad reviews because they couldn't keep up with the demand of the people wanted the ultra right beer, which just probably tastes like piss anyway. Not because it's ultra right, but because it's American light lager.
There you go. That's an that's an astute presumption.
You've been in this game long enough. You fucking realize what it is.
Have you tried that real American lager stuff?
No, it's not out here yet.
Oh, yeah, I don't see it over here. I
I
wonder
mean,
if
yeah.
have you seen that garage beer? The one that the Kelsey brothers
Oh
stand in?
yeah. I have not seen it out here yet either.
Oh, I seen it. I heard it was I didn't hear the most raving reviews about it.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's another American light lager. It probably tastes fine, just like the Troy Aikman's 8 beer probably tastes fine too, but it's not going to have a lot of flavor.
Right.
All right, man. That's all I have in the beer news stories for this week. So you know what that means?
I think I do.
It's time for everyone's favorite segment on Cold Brew because it's my favorite segment. It's time for the Cold Brew List.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What happened in football this week?
All sorts of fucking drama. I think the Niners got rid of one half of the side of their team. And Aaron Rodgers is gonna ruin one of two teams, but we don't know that yet. But it was his free agency week. I know what you're getting at.
Yeah. Football is a year-round industry. The actual sport is only played out of for 4 months, more or less.
Yeah, it's a 12-month sport.
Right. No, if August through. Nah, it's actually almost 6 months, 5 months.
Yeah, if you count preseason.
Right. So, yeah, free agency was big in the sports news. As well as the Warriors. Hey, keep on keeping on.
Yeah, they're probably going to make the playoffs. I don't know how far they get.
Yeah, well, they got a big one tonight. I think they're the 6th seed right now, so they might not even have that playing drama. Ever since that Jimmy Butler trade, he really hit the gas with them.
Yeah, and you know how I feel about Jimmy Butler. I even said you want him on your team in the playoffs because he's not gonna. But regular season, Jimmy Butler kind of. But
Right.
you know, as long as they get in there, they might have a chance. I might throw like a 5 spot on them. They probably won't. I mean, have you seen the OKC? Holy shit!
Yeah, OKC. They what's his name? That Shy.
Yeah,
Shy
SGA.
Giles.
Yeah. Alexander.
What's the
Gilgis.
Gilgis.
Yeah, or Gilgis.
Even his name is like even Shy is short for like Chevon or Chevarian or something like that too. So
I had no idea.
He's got a lot of letter property in his name.
Hey, he's doing it, man. He might get the. I think he's favored by MVP. I think he's like minus 500 right now to win the MVP.
Yeah.
Anyway, so NFL. Let's get back to the NFL. We'll talk about the NBA when the playoffs come around because that's when it matters.
All right.
For like 5 months.
You know, there's two sides of every coin. It's either the haves or the have-nots. The teams with the money to spend, and the teams that don't. So that whole view of no one wins in free agency, you know, or no one wins the Super Bowl in March, you know.
Oh yeah, right.
Versus, you know, stand pat with what you got or make illicit moves. And I'll be honest, I mean, who's the last like free agent quarterback to win the Super Bowl? And even then, I mean, was it Breeze?
Oh yeah, but yeah, Breeze was a different thing though, because he went to a team and then cultivated a team, and it wasn't like he just came in and won like in a year or two afterwards. I guess Manning.
But was Manning a straight up free agent though, or was he even just a trade? Even if it was a throw-in trade, you know, like technically, wasn't Brady traded for like a 4th rounder? I mean, you know.
I think Brady was I could have swore Manning was a free agent signing because everyone was trying to get him, even the 49ers, and because he was I think he was a free agent.
Oh, okay. So even then, that was Super Bowl 50 that he won that.
Yeah. That was a while ago,
8
like
Super
10,
Bowls
12
ago. And then, you know, it's a head scratcher. Buzzing thing. I thought he was traded. But, you know, and then that's the other argument is, you know, good players don't never hit free agency. The best players never hit, and until this time, like even JJ Watt was released. I mean, he technically wasn't a free agent.
Yeah.
Uh, so granted, yes, but it's a time to improve your team. It's a time to reward players who have outplayed their contracts and probably can't be kept down. So I'm gonna look at some of the more notable free agent signings
Mm-hmm.
and their grades per USA Today.
Okay.
Let's see. Javon Holland, safety, New York Giants. He
Okay.
went for what do I say? Oh shit. You know what I don't like about the story?
What's that?
Didn't tell you their previous team.
Oh, okay. I'll look it up. Go ahead. Who
All
was
right,
it again?
Javon Holland,
Okay.
Javon Holland, safety, New York Giants. 3 years, 45 million.
Well, he went to
They give
Bishop
that.
O'Dowd.
Oh, there you go. They give him a B plus.
Oh, he was on the Dolphins.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, that's right. All right. Here's a good one. Chris Goodwin, Tampa Bay, 3 years, 66 million, 44 guaranteed. A. Now he stayed there and he was actually offered more, but
Mm-hmm.
he kind of wanted to stay at home. He's been in the league a while too. I don't know if this is going to
Yeah.
be his last go around, and with 3 more years, if he's able to stay healthy and be competitive all 3 years,
Oh
if
yeah,
it's
he had
going to be his
that
last
bad
one.
leg injury last. Was it last year or the year before?
I think it was last year. Oh, that's right. Both the Tampa Bay receivers had injury
Yeah. My
setbacks.
yeah, Evans came back. That's a good tandem right there. Evans and Godwin, not Goodwin. Um, but yeah, he that's a great 1-2 punch. And with Baker Mayfield slinging the ball, they're a potent offense.
Yeah. Here's one. DJ Reed went to the Lions. I like him. He was a former Niner, former Seahawk, former Jet. A lot of sports talk around here thought that the Niners might make a play with them because we got
Mm-hmm.
Saleh back. I mean, Saleh took him to the Jets, obviously.
Yeah.
So 3 years, 48 million, 32 million guaranteed. Yeah, definitely more than the Niners could spend on him. They gave the grade an A minus, but he's a versatile guy. He's a fast guy. He could also do return, both punt and kick. Granted, he didn't do that for the Niners, but he did it for Seattle, and he really excelled at that too. I was like, man, we had this guy on the bench the whole time. We could at least had him out there for that.
Yeah. And he yeah, and the Lions do need some corner on the outs or help on the outside. So he's going to help them
Yeah,
out a
well,
lot.
then, yeah, I think what was it? 9 out of 11 starters got injured on Detroit defense at one point.
Yeah, yeah. Fuck. Especially what's his name? Hawkinson?
Yeah,
So
that was a bad one.
yeah.
Um, then Khalil Mack went back to the Chargers. They give it a B plus. I guess a 1 year, 8 million contract, team
Hmm.
friendly ish. Because I think he could have got more.
I think he just likes the fit. I think he likes Harbaugh. I think he likes his style.
I think he just don't want to move again.
He loves fucking LA. That's why.
Uh, I bet you after this year he goes back to Vegas and all the Raider fans welcome him back and don't realize that it's probably a bad signing.
Right.
Here's one. Sam Darnold to Seattle. They gave him 3 years for 100 million. They
Yeah.
gave him the grade a C minus.
Because it's like between him and Geno Smith, it's kind of like a wash. But they're gonna have to pay him 30. At least he's younger. He might last longer.
Yeah, I think I would give him. He's younger than Gino and maybe a little bit bigger arm overall.
Yeah.
However, the whole big arm thing that's important. However, how many times you want to throw a Hail Mary in the season, let alone a game,
That's a good point. He's 7 years younger than Geno Smith, so if he
Yeah.
works out, they can keep him a little bit longer than Smith. Smith has maybe like 2 or 3 years left.
Yeah. I mean, he ended up in in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas,
Yeah.
and I mean, not everyone could be Tom Brady playing into their 40.
Right. So let me go with some other shoot. I clicked that. I'm gonna shoot down or shoot through and give some grades.
Okay,
Hassan Reddick going to Tampa, they get a B plus. It's a 1 year deal. Justin Reed going back home to New Orleans, 3 years. They get that one an A. Although I don't know, I don't see the Saints doing much with Carr
no,
still,
yeah,
unless they put
it's an
Reed
A
in at
for the
quarterback. Yeah.
maybe shit. He might be better than Carr.
Okay, here's one. Hufanga to the Broncos. Three
That
years,
one hurt
45
me
million. Yeah, that one hurt me. A minus. You know, he, for all intents and purposes, he's kind of been off my team for the last 2 years, right?
because
He
he
got
always
hurt the
gets
Super
hurt.
Bowl year. Yeah, he got hurt the Super Bowl year halfway through the season. Comes back the following year and he gets hurt again.
Hmm.
I get it. The injury bug happens. He's young enough to overcome it. However, you know, and that's another thing is um, some of the local sports stuff. They take some of the bloom off the rose and kind of say, he gets exposed for his lack of speed. His PFFF grades for pass coverage are horrific. His run coverage isn't even that in the top 30 for safety. Just it's like, well, that is immeasurable. However, he's got a lot of heart. He got a lot of instinct. He is a great player. You know,
Yeah,
it'd be nice to keep him. However, I haven't really seen him in the last 2 years.
so counter to those the measurables is he has a small sample size, and we see the potential there. And if he played more, his numbers might be better. Might.
Right.
So I mean, and that's what every time he was out on the field, I always had a confidence in him that he was going to make the right play. He has a high IQ now, just because he had the measurables were down. He just needed more time to improve them. That's all.
Yeah.
That's what I see. Anyway, but yeah, that's why I just wanted to stick around a little bit longer to improve those, and him and Greenlaw too. I did like Greenlaw, but I mean, he's no Fred Warner. Fred Warner is the guy. He made Greenlaw
Right.
better.
Um, Going on with that, another Niner, Shavarius Ward, Mooney Ward, the Mooney man.
Yep.
He ended up in Indy for 3 years, 60 million, 35 guaranteed. They gave that a B plus grade. Now,
Good for him. I liked him.
Ward kind of, yeah, I liked him too. Okay, two things. Ward, he said at the end of the season, a lot of bad memories, and that was he did miss some time because of the death of his 1 year old daughter.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's fucking tough.
yeah, my heartstrings really felt for him and his family, and still to this day. However, he was straight up what I call just a hired gun contract. He signed with us. We paid him. He stood on the island. He held it down. He did his job. No complaints. I mean, that's great. Um, the Niners extending Lenore during the season with the big money contract. Right away, you knew Ward was gonna walk.
Yeah,
So
he's gonna look for more money somewhere else.
yeah, so I can't be mad at either of those moves.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, best of luck to him in Indy.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. I think Lenore is it was the better player. So I think they
I
chose right.
don't know. He's a younger player. He is a little bit small. Like I liked a lot of stuff about Ward, just his size, his instinct, his physicality. Um, at the same time, too, Ward like said he didn't. A lot of bad memories here. He kind of
Yeah,
wasn't uh, itching to really come back.
yeah, I get it. Good luck to him.
Yeah. Then Brian Murphy, cornerback to Minnesota, 3 years, 66 million. They give that an A-.
Oh, good for him.
Hopkins to Baltimore, they give that a B.
I'm out on Hopkins. He's done. He's washed.
Yeah, like there's a list that Baltimore is where receivers go to retire. And they give a list of a bunch of old receivers. They got like obviously Hopkins, then who else? Steve Smith Sr.,
Oh yeah,
Anquan Bolden. Even
I was
though
gonna say
even
Bolden.
though
I
we got
remember him.
Bolden after he went there.
Oh, true.
Shoot, there was another few. I think some guys from Tennessee. But regardless, best of luck to him. Joey Bosa to the Bills for 1 year. They give that a B plus.
Mm-hmm.
John
If you
Allen
could,
in Minnesota. What's that?
oh really? Hello.
I'm sorry, you broke up. Yeah, what'd you say?
Oh, okay. I was gonna say Bosa if he plays,
Yeah, yeah,
if
he's
he
coming
can
off
stay
the
on the field.
injury-riddled season.
Mm-hmm.
Last
A
few
lot
years,
of
I
them.
believe.
Yeah, I mean, like I looked at. There's actually you can actually go to a website and they'll tell you how many games per year a player averages, and Joey Bosa was like 11.9 games per season.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, I know, right? He's only played like
Um,
3 full seasons in his whole career.
mm. Well, when you play for the Chargers, you don't have much to play for. Jonathan Allen, Vikings, they give that a B minus.
Yeah.
Carlton Davis, New England, they give that a B. Drew Dahlman, center, Chicago Bears, they give that an A minus. That was
Yeah, they
someone
need it.
that was someone they suggested that the Niners go out and get the center, Dahlman. His
Mm-hmm.
dad was a Niner. I don't know if you remember that name.
Chris Dolman?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. And yeah, the Bears really need that though. They need a line because someone's got to protect. Shoot, what's his name? Williams.
Caleb, yeah.
Yeah,
And Greenlaw to Denver, they give that an A.
yeah. He's a great player. Let's see if he can do it by himself.
Yeah.
Not
But
by himself,
still
but you know what I mean.
yeah, but still coming off an Achilles, that's tough. I mean, I look at
Mm-hmm.
Clay Thompson, it took him a whole another season to get back in the swing of things, you know?
Yeah, Greenlaw had maybe like half a season, so he's got like another half season to
If
go
that
before.
he got hurt again, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if Denver gets in a groove and a stride by the end of the year, he might be at 100% by then.
Yeah. And they got a great quarterback. I really like Bo Nix.
All right, so that can kind of includes the bigger signings and the value and or the grade they got.
So let's go back to our team. I know you listen to a lot more local radio and TV about the 49ers. But what's your feeling about the 49ers free agent season?
Well, we lost a lot of guys.
Yeah.
However, you look at these guys and there are a lot of backups we lost too. You know, a lot of the like shoot.
The second bananas.
Yeah, I don't say second bananas.
I
Okay,
mean,
so
yeah.
Ward was obviously a starter. We lost him. Greenlaw would have been a starter. We lost him. Hufanga, I don't know with Brown and Mufasa. I don't know if
Yeah.
or was it Mustafa, right?
Mustafa. Yeah, Brown is better than Hufanga, or in my estimation, he was better.
He's a little bit faster, although he's got some stuff to work on.
He had a great game against Dallas, so
Yeah.
that's why I like him.
Okay. There you go. You know, we prepared for Ward leaving because we got Green. So we got Green and Lenore. I like that tandem. Green had a solid rookie year. Going back, our give me 2 seconds.
Well, I'll expand a little bit on what I meant by the second banana. Is like we lost Floyd, but we have Nick Bosa on the other side. We lost Ward, but we have Lenore on the other side. We lost Greenlaw, but we have Warner still there. So that's what I mean by second. But they were like in their particular position, they weren't the top dog.
Right.
That's kind of what I was going after.
We lost Juice, but we replaced him with Juice. So.
Yeah, what the fuck was that? We let him go and then we signed up for more money. It's like that seems like a worse. We didn't get anything out of that. We put ourselves in a worse position.
I don't know, because I think we okay, two things. Number one, we get 2 years, so that's 2 years of control. So even though it's an $8 million contract for 2 years, 7 of it is guaranteed. So he's going to see the second year. You're not going to do that just to waste $3 million. And what was the other thing? Oh, he went to Pittsburgh. He went over there. He was kind of recruited by them, and maybe he really thought or saw his market value and thought maybe taking the pay cut and staying back home, or where he's been for the last 8 years was more worth it than going to Pittsburgh trying to chase a ring.
Yeah, I mean,
if they not even chase a ring, chase a roster spot, because I think Pittsburgh's still a few years away.
Yeah, I was about to say chase a ring, not in Pittsburgh, not many offenses nowadays use a fullback as well as the 49ers do.
Yeah. That's another thing about, a lot of people letting Juszczyk go. Yeah, okay. It was a $4 million cap hit, and he was, it is kind of like, he's a 9-time Pro Bowler at fullback, but yeah, there's only the 5 fullbacks in the league.
Right. I can't even name the other ones.
Yeah.
Is Gus Edwards a fullback?
And then two, it's just like, yeah, well, you get younger there and bigger there. Cause when they're on the 3 and they run it in, they're not giving it to the fullback. They rather flare out the fullback and stuff. You need a hard hitter. And now people are talking about, well, on the goal line, Banks and Brindle really don't get a good push, like they're playing for the line.
Yeah.
Just because you're back in the building. So it's
the Niners are a good fit for him. I mean, I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. But okay, that guy, Jalen Moore, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's our swing tackle, backup for Trent Williams. And I mean, he's our backup. If the Chiefs want to pay him starting tackle money, I mean, what are we going to do?
Right.
Pay him starting tackle money to be our backup?
Right. Yeah, exactly. And then you gotta let him go.
Yeah, and then I forgot who said it, but someone said, hey, what if Jalen Moore is like the 3rd best tackle in the league, but the Niners will never know because he backs up the best tackle in the league?
That's a great point, man. That's a good point.
Yeah. So it's kind of like you can't win in that aspect. Then yeah, a few of our a lot of our defense linemen got snapped up real quick too. And Hargrave had the torn. It was a torn bicep or tricep or something like that.
Yeah,
it could have even been a pec, but I kind of thought he underperformed ever since he got here, personally.
Yeah, because you didn't hear his number called a lot, like when you're watching the game.
Right. So yeah, I mean, our D line took a big hit, but we still got Warner, we still got Lenore, we still got we've got some young talent.
Yeah.
The only trading Debo, again, that's not losing a free agent. That's a trade that, maybe for whatever reason things weren't going to be as smooth as they were. So be it.
Yeah, but I was losing my faith in that guy last year, and this year really sealed the deal for me. So at least we got something out of it.
Yeah, I mean, again, we got a lot of dead money too, so it's not like we could have been actively trying to sign. We signed some good pieces.
Yeah,
a lot of draft picks,
some defensive backs. I thought were good
Right.
signings.
Right. So, I mean, I'm optimistic about putting the roster together.
Mm-hmm.
The whole, there's the whole. You want to get younger. You want to get cheaper. You want to get faster. You can do all those, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be better.
Right. But we have a good defensive coach now, and in Salah. So hopefully he can make. I don't want to call our defense chicken shit, but chicken salad out of chicken shit is a phrase I like to use.
Yeah. But this draft is deep in defensive line, which is what we'll
Mm-hmm.
need, and coach them up, and
Yeah.
pretty deep in linebacker too. So you get, you know, I'm not saying
Beef
you're
up.
going to hit every pick, but if you hit at least on half, I mean, like last year, we got two good starters on defense. We got Mustafa and Green, and
Mm-hmm.
then we got good contributors on offense, or offense with Puni, Garindo, and Persol. Even though it took him, he came on at the end. I mean, he
Yeah.
had the injury setback. But
Yeah, big time, because you need that rhythm with the quarterback. So it took him a while, and he had some good plays towards the end of the season. I saw that.
yeah, we'll see, dude. I mean, another thing too is we got the last place schedule for us too. So if we do get a lot of young guys and have to play a lot of young guys, I mean, at least we know we got some good practice reps for these guys.
Oh yeah, we'll be taking on like the Giants and the Bears.
There you go.
All right, cool, man. Yeah. How's your beer treating you?
Good, pretty much gone.
Yeah, me too. I have a little sip. I had opened an IPA before we started, so once I'm done with this, I can go to that. I forgot what it was though. It's from Anchorage Brewing. But we're gonna rate our beers right now that we're highlighting on the show. So go to Untapped if you want to follow us and find out what we drink before the show comes out. So I remember you had a golden coffee ale, but
The
Untapped
brunch
is
ale. Thank you.
brunch ale. Excuse me. Who brewed it again? I forgot.
Laughing Monk.
Oh, that's right. Laughing Monk. And what was it called? What was the name of the beer?
Morning Buzz.
Oh, that's right. Morning Buzz. There we go. All right. None of our friends have rated it. What would you like to rate this beer at?
I'm gonna do this at 3.75.
Oh, okay. It has an overall rating right now of 3.86. So we had the cold brew correction. What notes would you like to leave on it?
Oh, definitely roasty,
Mm-hmm.
goldeny, and buzzy.
Colton. E. Stop it. It wants me to change it back. And Buzzy, is that what you said?
Yes.
Buzzy. Save and check in. All right, so mine is Midnight Run by 12 West. Oh, I still have a little bit in the can. I poured it in a tulip, and it didn't. I think it's a 14-ounce tulip, so I had a couple more ounces left in the can. God, it smells so fucking good. I like this one, man. I'm gonna give this one a 4.25. Yeah, 4.5. I like it. I like it even more than a 4.25. So I give it a 4.5. Let me look it up real quick. It's called Midnight. Oops. It's misspelled midnight. There we go. Midnight Run. There it is by 12 West. Has an overall rating of 3.79. Oh, that's terrible. And 4 of our friends have rated it for an average of 3.31. Let's see. Roshim, he gave it a 3.25. Matt H gave it a 3.5. Eddie G gave it a 4.25. Oh, so see, me and Eddie are really close. He liked it a lot more than those other people. Ali C just checked in. John B gave it a 2.75. What the fuck? No, that was 2017. Maybe they haven't. Maybe their recipe back then wasn't as fine tuned as the one I have. So I'm gonna give it a 4.5. See here. Check in. 4.5, and I'm gonna say it is coffee and roasty. Save and check in. All right, man. A couple of things, or one thing I wanted to bring up is I took my daughter shopping. When she was younger, she didn't like the mall or any type of shopping at all. Now she loves it. She's 13. She loves going shopping, and I'm the dad who's standing in the corner. I don't say miserable, but the shop she goes to, like, there's nothing for me. So, like, I have nothing I could do. Like, I feel awkward. I feel like out of place. I feel like a fucking sore thumb.
Is it just you and her, or like a friend or her mom?
Sometimes with their friend, sometimes with their mom. But all right. Example: we went to see today. She and I we went to Bath and Body Works, and they do have a men's section over there. So I went over to the men's section. So I had that. Then we went to Ulta Beauty Supply, and that's just all makeup. They did the only men's. I think the quote men's section would be like the cologne area. And it's funny because Johnny Depp has that new cologne now. I think by Dior. It's called Sauvage.
Yeah,
It's like savage with the U in it.
yeah.
All the tester bottles were missing. I think people are stealing the tester bottles.
Yeah.
Dude, cologne's fucking expensive, man.
It is.
Like the designer shit, like that Sauvage. I think it was like $160 for 2 ounces.
Dang.
And I know, like you got the spritz, like you don't need a lot, right? You do like, I don't know about you, but like I remember the it's like the sprayed on your wrist, rub the wrist, and rub it behind your ears.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you're, maybe it lasts you for like 6 or 7 months, but man, just to throw that down on like a one-time expense, holy shit, that's a lot. And I'm not a cologne guy. I like taking baths.
Yeah, I know. I
Not a bath.
I don't do
but-
fragrance. I mean,
Yeah.
occasionally I'll do a fragrance, but yeah, I don't. It's not my everyday repertoire.
For me, for my scents are like if I do like an aftershave lotion, not aftershave like alcohol, but like a Brute or anything, but like a a soothing lotion, and my deodorant. Those are my scents. But to each their own. I'm not knocking guys who wear cologne or women who wear perfume. That's to each. But the thing about going into those stores, like it's stores like Bath and Body Works and Ulta, it's the smells, man. Oh my god, like it's especially Bath and Body Works. I don't know why I can't say it right now. Bath and Body Works, all those candles and all the lotions and everything. It just going in there just gives me a headache. Too many competing smells. Does your wife wear perfume?
Not regularly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she'll do like a light perfume or like a body spray before we when we go out sometimes.
I was about
But
to say a
for work,
body
for
spray.
everyday,
Yeah.
yeah. But for everyday work, no, because she works in industrial areas when
Yeah.
she's
So
not
what's the
in her
point?
office. So yeah,
Dude, I work in a shop in a garage, and there's guys who wear cologne. I'm like, why? There's a bunch of dudes here. No, nobody fucking cares. Nobody wants to smell you. But whatever. What I was gonna say
maybe
is
that's
like, yeah,
maybe they do that so they don't have to smell the shop.
true, man. It smells like grease and oil and tires.
Yeah, it's not a winning combination. But anyway.
No, it's not. But your wife, does she ask you like, do you like this? Like, will she wear stuff that you like? So, or does she wear stuff she likes and you kind of just like it because it's her?
I'd say more B, but she
Okay.
like asked me my opinion on a few things that she thought of getting, not stuff that she already has.
Oh, okay. All right. That's good. I mean, but are you honest with her, or you just love her so much that you're like, wear what you want because I'm gonna like you anyway?
It's easy to be honest because she doesn't do anything like crazy.
Oh,
You know?
okay. Yeah. She doesn't overdo it
And
on
yeah,
Coco Chanel number 5.
right. She doesn't like. How do I say? She likes more of like a more of like a fresh scent as opposed to a flowery scent.
Oh,
That makes
see, I like that. Yeah.
yeah.
That's cool. There's some flowery stuff that's okay, but sometimes if it's
Right.
too strong, it just it gives me a headache if it's too strong. Let's put it that way. It's not
Yeah.
that it's bad. It's just if it's too strong. And there's like different. Like I went to that. I saw a guide. It was about like the difference between like perfume and eau de perfume and eau de toilette and eau de cologne and eau frage.
Yeah.
There's different levels. I had no idea. What the fuck?
Yeah. Cologne's like the most concentrate. It's like the strongest one.
No, it's perfume is the strongest one.
Oh, okay.
But
See,
anyway,
what do I know?
regardless. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, smells, man. There's a lot of smells. I think I smell like a fucking like a candle shop, which is fine. And I try to find something that for my place because I don't want it to smell too musty and everything. So I had my daughter pick out a candle for me, and then yeah, it's all right. I'll light it. It's what's it called? Shoot, it's all the way over there. I don't want to grab it right now, but it's a nice clean smell. But yeah, there's a lot. There's oh man, so many smells. Like I'm like my senses were inundated today. Um, yeah. So that was my day. And it was funny because my daughter just a couple years ago she couldn't stand the mall. Now she wants to go a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Spend
it
your
is.
money.
Yeah, it is. Spend my exactly. She wants to spend my money. Oh my god. It's all right. I always save a little for the weekends. I always put a little money aside. So if she wants something, not like I go and buy stuff for her, but like if we go and do something, like I do have that money set aside. So, but I budget it, so it wasn't too much. She doesn't want a lot. In fact, I think her bill today was like maybe like $30 or $40 between the 3 stores we went to.
That's not bad.
Eh. Yeah, it's not bad at all. All right, man. Anything you'd like to bring up on this episode of Cold Brew Podcast?
No, I think we're good this week.
Right on. All right. Thank you for downloading yet again another Cold Brew. I am Greg. He is Sorcerer Chromatic, and we'd like to wish you cheers.
Until next time.